Hi, this is Jason Crawford, and this is my presentation for Module 5. In reviewing the articles, I felt as future administrators, we have to look at several themes that emerge from this. I think the hardest thing is looking at our colleagues and how they embrace technology and where they're on that spectrum. A lot of times, it's not just helping them have the basic skill sets, but looking how they can integrate it, champion it, and actually, have ownership in the success of launching technology in their classrooms and stuff. A lot of times there's fear, and I think there's other issues that prevent that. And a lot of times at the end of the day, we fall back to the things that we're most comfortable with. And a lot of times technology, it may be sitting right there, but we don't pick it up and embrace it, and it gets put back on the shelf. And I think that's probably the largest challenge, the biggest challenge I see as a future administrator in trying to figure out how we get others to embrace and see the effectiveness and efficiency that they can champion with having technology support. Other things I noticed in reading the articles this week. Um, can we resolve the digital divide? I think absolutely. But we have to understand, where everyone is on the spectrum of their needs. And, if they don't have a sense of security and safe, being safe in the technology, they'll never embrace it. And if they don't feel like it's going to help them or enhance their lifestyle or their productivity, it's going to be very, very hard for our colleagues, students, and ourselves to actually embrace the technology and what we're trying to achieve in being more innovative. As to 21st century skill sets, I feel like our students have to have these. Many of the soft skills also, but learning to be adaptive, having sensitivity to multicultural settings, emotional intelligence, team building, and just those basic skills that encompass soft skills that link into 21st century skill sets are so important. No one, I think, can really understand or even knows where we'll be in 5 or 10 years, let alone 20, 30 years from now, where our students will be in their mid careers. So I felt that those are the most important ones because we're preparing them for a changing global marketplace that we don't even have any idea of how they're going to have to be successful in that. But those are basic skill sets, though, that will at least lead them to be successful and plant the seeds of becoming lifelong learners. As a reflection of impact on global economy, I think our internet use has increased a lot. I've utilized it to be more efficient, not only in professional roles but personal roles as well. Working in a rural area, um, it, it's also helped me manage how I can be more efficient and get more things done. So, literally, I've taken 2 or 3 trips a week to our local Walmart out of the equation just by using Amazon. I mean, that's kind of very simple answer, but it really has added a lot of value to my ability for schooling and other type of things as I go through and look at how technology has enhanced my professional and personal life. As to technology training, I feel like we all can have more training, but sometimes we get pushed back on resources. I know our administration is very critical about bringing in outside trainers and stuff, and we have to be very careful about who we bring in and how long and the resources. So a lot of times, we find ourselves going to YouTube or working with other colleagues to try to learn and adapt to things that we've been asked to embrace. Also, 21st century technology. We're one-to-one district, and I think the biggest challenge we have right now is the reliability and speed of our internet connection. In our community, like my first week in class, I didn't have I didn't have internet for 4 or 5 days, and that was a huge problem. And I didn't have anywhere to go. I mean, it's a 45-minute drive to the nearest city for us that would have available public Wi-Fi. But those are just the challenges, and we just have learned to kind of adapt. And it's frustrating when you plan a lesson and then all of a sudden you can't deploy it because there's no internet to do that. So advantages of innovative practices. I feel like we can help our students to be progressive and help them to adapt to changing technology and just learn to be innovative and and not be scared of change, but to embrace it, and that a lot of times that makes them more valuable over time, and they can achieve additional results because having that commitment to always a lifelong learner and to continuous improvement will serve them very, very well. Some of the disadvantages I see are the lack of balance and not aligning goals with the needs of our students. A lot of times, we can be very, very innovative, but there's a huge disconnect between where our students and staff are and their needs and aspirations, and we can also use it as an ultimate crutch to replace, as we discussed earlier in previous modules, that innovation should not replace good and effective instruction. As a cyberbullying, I mean, I have observed that several times, often outside of school platforms, but a lot of times it starts at school and then it rolls over to social media. We do block a lot of that in our district, just to eliminate some of that, but you do see it manifest in different areas and even carry back into school the following days. So I think our role as teachers, we've had to become more in tune with helping our students learn to be digital citizens and good stewards of those platforms, and realize that everything they put in there is a permanent record of that comment, that date and time, and once it's out there, there's no taking it back. And I think that's the biggest challenges that I see with our students today, and then what we faced as students in our time.